I'm Sean.
I'm Rhonda.
We're excited to be with you today to talk about how to deal better with conflict in your marriage relationship. So many times when we get in the middle of conflict, we can have thoughts in our back in the back of our mind. So let's look at some counterproductive responses. This is going to be somebody that kind of goes on the war path and starts to see their spouse as their enemy instead of that they're on the same team and having a I'm just not going to take this anymore kind of attitude.
And so obviously that's bad when we pit ourselves against each other and view the other as an enemy instead of someone sees a perspective I don't see. I really need to hear that. Let me lay on the table what I think, and you lay on the table what you think, and let's look at that together. We are on the same team, and as a team, we are working to pull us both together here.
Yeah. So another thing to watch out for is playing the victim and kind of helplessly waiting for someone to come along and save you.
Yes, when we play the victim, we see everything the other person does as attacking me. And if we believe in the goodwill of our spouse, which what we see in marriages is they're usually both good-willed and so misunderstood. But if we believe in the goodwill of our spouse, we would have to say, okay, it may feel like my spouse is against me or attacking me, but that's not true. So what is happening?
Yeah.
What is the heart message that my spouse really needs me to hear right now?
Yeah. Another thing to watch out for is wanting things to be positive so much that a person just gets into a state of denial and they can't even acknowledge that anything needs to be addressed at all because they want it to be positive.
A lot of people think that if we never argue, we never have any issues, then we have a great marriage.
Not so.
Usually, in a case like that, don't you think that we tend to see, usually the husband, but whoever is less confrontational is not going to talk about issues, and it gets swept under the rug, and the other spouse might try to share issues, but finally gives up, and they kind of both just resolve, you know what, we're just not going to go there. One, we don't like the energy, the negative energy that's happening when we're working through these issues, and it just doesn't happen. And two, we just never resolve them.
Yeah.
So why would we go there?
I think women.
That's not good.
That's right. I think women usually bring up issues typically more than men to keep the relationship strong. But a lot of times men are looking at that and thinking, if you're bringing up issues, that means we have a problem.
Right. And so really bringing up issues and resolving them keeps the negativity out,
Right.
and keeps it from growing and building over time.
I like to think of it kind of like the lights on your dashboard, and when you get a message on there, it's saying maintenance is required and something is needed to take care of and keep your car running well.
Right. And if we look at the contribution of both, we have to say, I defer to him as head of the house. He pursues me as the godly gift of being a helper to him. And so when we're looking at each other as I really need what you bring to the table, instead of dismissing each other, we minimize some of these things.
Right. Sometimes another problem can be just kind of not having any hope that things can get better.
Right.
And we just kind of don't get into a place of not really doing anything because we've lost hope that it can be better.
And I think when that happens, either the spouses are just clashing all the time because they are bitter against each other. And it's not about the issue, it's about the bitterness. Or they just don't resolve, they don't work on anything, they don't really bring anything up, but there's a distance, there's more of a roommate mentality.
Right. A thing that we have to watch out for is just getting into a rut of doing what we've always done.
Right.
And things if we think this is all that's available for us in our marriage, this is the most that we think is that a married couple can experience,
right,
we're going to feel like, well, we've hit the ceiling and this is all that's available. And that's something that we've discovered in our marriage, is that there is more, there is no limit, because marriage is a God thing.
Right. And so we would encourage you to push through the difficulties, but you've got to be polite and considerate, and more so with your spouse than you would anybody else.
Right.